Hello, this is Angelo with October's Business Coaching Masterclass, and today's subject is the super vehicle to success. And in a couple of minutes' time, you will know why I chose this title. But as always, before we begin, I want to thank you for being here and congratulate you for being here because I know how easy it is to get distracted these days, and you will probably know how many times you have been distracted already today and how many more unsuccessful distraction attempts have happened. So you also want to congratulate yourself for being here, which demonstrates also that you are not negotiating your vision. You want to fill in the blanks and make sure that you have all the pieces of your success puzzle. Now, of course, you want to turn off your phone unless you're watching from it, of course, but at least turn off all notifications and make sure that for the next 20 to 30 minutes, you're not distracted. As I like to say, in this world, it is just you and me. Now, you're more than welcome to take notes, but also remember that you will be having the replay at your disposal if you want to focus entirely on what we will be discussing here. And last but not least, I want to remind you that we have crossed the point of no return, meaning that the only outcome that you allow in your consciousness is you landing happily and safely at your desired destination. Now, how do you feel? The question that I'm beginning each and every webinar with, the question that you want to ask yourself many times during the day, simply because the better you feel, the better the quality of your life is right now, and also the more fuel you have at your disposal to achieve anything you want to achieve. Also, I want to remind you that we have set our thermostat here at the happy and unstoppable state, meaning that if this is not the case for you right now, you want to practice the exercises of perspective, forgiveness, love, gratitude, and happy landing to elevate your emotional state back up to the happy and unstoppable state, because this is the effective operating system. This is where you get the most of life, regardless of circumstances. Now, before we move into the main subject, I want to tell you a little story. And a few months ago, I watched the movie Air, which basically is the story, the real story of how Nike signed Michael Jordan. And then, of course, consequently, we all experienced the amazing evolution of the Air Jordan series that lasts even today and is extremely successful even today. So, in that movie, I learned another true story that had to do with Martin Luther King's notorious I Have a Dream speech. And basically what happened was that Martin Luther King was very prepared and he had his speech in front of him. And of course, he had an audience, I don't remember correctly, I think it was about 250,000 people that were actually live there. And now, as he was going through the speech, he was also getting a feel from the audience, and it didn't feel right. So at some point, he started basically improvising and using his intuition, his heart. He connected to his heart and he spoke from his heart. And he delivered the actual words that had to be delivered to move people. This alone, I could have said by now, like, okay, this is it. Okay, time to sign off. This is the webinar for today. This alone, for me, it was a very powerful insight, because now I know how important it is for me to make sure that my energy is so high and my connection, not only with my audience, but also with source, is so high that I truly deliver my best. And many times in the past, especially when I got started writing my daily shots of inspiration, I was calling myself secretary of the universe, simply because I had no idea where my inspiration was coming from. I just had an insight, then that insight was translated immediately into a subject line, and then I saw into my mind the whole text. The very same thing that I'm doing today. So by now, I think we've crossed the mark of, we are just about to cross the mark of 3,600 days, consecutive days. And of course, if you follow my daily shots of inspiration, that by the end of the year, we will be having our 10th year birthday. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because I want you to connect to the possibility of how much impact you can deliver with the same knowledge that you possess right now, the same experiences, and maybe some experiences that you feel are some of your worst experiences, some of your biggest and most profound setbacks in life. And I've had a customer, and I was discussing with her what else she can do with her marketing. And I told her that actually your failures could be an amazing lead magnet if you want to give it away as teachings, or an amazing product to sell alone, because you don't want other people to do the same mistakes as you did. So only to help people avoid mistakes is an extremely powerful tool to have to share with the world. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I promised I will give you the super vehicle to success. But first of all, we all want at any given moment in life to accept where we are. So you are here right now. You are watching this webinar. You are watching this masterclass. And you surely have some desires and some challenges, right? But you want more specificity. And you always want to remember that basically you need three things. And every time this is not so clear and apparent to you, what you're doing is take it, as I'm going to do it here for you, to the physical world. So basically, imagine that right now you're preparing for a journey. So you say, I'm here, maybe it is your home or your office or whatever, right? So what you need is a destination. Where are you going? You need that destination, and it has to be clear, like not only I'm going to this country or this town, but also maybe to this hotel or to this bed and breakfast or whatever, right? Now, next, you need a vehicle, no matter what that vehicle is. It could be your own vehicle, it could be a train, it could be an airplane, whatever. And then, of course, you need fuel. That vehicle is going to need fuel because from point A to point B, no matter what it is in life, we need energy to get from one place to the other. And that energy, of course, could be anything, but it has to be there for us. And by now, you know number three. We've already discussed about it. It is your emotional energy that is moving mountains if you let it. But let's focus on number one. You need a destination. And what I like to say always, because this will help you make it more clear and more compelling, and it will help you solidify your why also. So you want to take the things that you know, the things that there is a market for, and the things that you would love to do, regardless of how close you are to it right now. And you want to find the sweet spot, which I call your aim or your authentic impact mission. And you focus on that simply because it satisfies all three rules. So it is something that you or your partners or your employees know. It is something that you love doing, that you would love to take on this subject, that you would love to take on this challenge for humanity and provide a solution there. And also there is a market for it. If you want to be successful, there has to be a market for it. You can open a market like what Apple did with iPad. There wasn't a market for iPad, and many have ridiculed the whole idea before the launch, only to realize that the only ridicule idea was theirs, because iPad has become an incredible success. Actually, I think the actual sales of the first year were almost 10 times Apple's initial estimation. So why am I telling you this? Because yes, you can open a market, you can create a market, You can be like the early adopter in a new market, an innovator. You can go, as Peter Thiel says, from 0 to 1, but this will take resources. If you do have the resources, great. But if you don't, and if you want to like improve your numbers, make your business more profitable, reduce the risks in your business, you want to take on a subject, to take on maybe a new brand or a new business unit that there is a market for already. Now, I'm going to give you two very simple, very different examples to give you an idea. So this is a brick and mortar example. And just think of the idea that you have a cupcake store in a remote town in Alaska. So there are like a few hundred people there. And of course, regardless of how amazing your cupcakes are, and regardless of how amazing your marketing is, and regardless of how amazingly well known you are, and how amazingly well connected you are, there are so many cupcakes you can sell. So, of course, there are many other ideas to grow your business and expand to different units. But the idea of having a course, the idea of having some kind of information business attached to this brick and mortar business, like for instance, you can give tips on like amazing or perfect cupcake creation to people all over the world. And the moment you click and the moment your course becomes public, what is happening is you take your business from a little local brick and mortar business basically to a multinational company. And what I'm saying is that you can reach out to much more impact and many more customers all around the world, and of course, to much more revenue, and the best thing of all, to much more profit, because all kinds of digital information products have an incredibly high profit margin. So this is why this idea is fitting to even a brick and mortar business. Now, another idea. Let's say you're an insurance agent and at some point you find out that your business has hit a ceiling and you don't have like creativity on how to move around and upgrade the revenue of your business, take it to the next level. Again, you can create a mini course where you educate people on the risks of insurance, like things that they should be looking for to make sure that they get like the best possible price and the lowest possible risk in the future. So this again is a nice idea of like a very valuable and useful product to have, and it capitalizes on the knowledge that you already have. So this is the first step. Now you know what your destination is. And as I promised, I will be speaking like from my heart rather than reviewing what happened to the Secrets to Scaling Summit and just giving you a plain review. So here I want to tell you something that I find very important and extremely valuable and has not been said during the Secrets to Scaling Summit, if I'm not mistaken. And that is, you want to shift your mindset and upgrade your mindset from what we call information business or information products and see them as inspiration products and then see them as impact products. Because when you realize that you can actually create an impact in other people's lives and you can actually help remotely people from anywhere in the world, you know that you have found a much more powerful vehicle to success. So, what is your super vehicle? And again, as I said before, what I'm about to present to you is not an option. And of course, You may not do this, and as W.E. Deming said in the past, success is not compulsory, but if you want to succeed, you want to make sure that you upgrade these three things that I will give you right now. Number one, you need a super mindset, and I'm not going to elaborate on that. You can go back and watch June's masterclass on creating, identifying, and then building super beliefs. So when you know your destination, when you know what it is you want to achieve, then you want to upgrade your mindset enough, because your beliefs are setting the ceiling. Your beliefs tell you how far you can go. And no matter how powerful your skill set is, if your beliefs say no, you will sabotage yourself for sure. You might even have a conscious temporary success, and you might think that something is working for you, but then you will see that you will be sabotaging your growth simply because your beliefs have to be validated 100% of the time. So either you validate your existing beliefs, or you upgrade your beliefs and validate the new empowering ones. Now, number two, you need a super skill set. And by that, I want to tell you that you need somehow to acquire specialized knowledge, the one that will deliver the value from your information or inspiration product. Now, you can get the right people, the people that have that knowledge, or you can have the right mentors that can pass on that knowledge to you. And I have with me the book Think and Grow Rich that many of you have read, of course. And I want to tell you another story now. So Bob Proctor had his hands on a very early edition of Think and Grow Rich. I think it was a leather one. And I think it was 1960 or 61 when he started reading Think and Grow Rich. So as he was getting through the pages and getting inspired, reading Think and Grow Rich, and everything started to look amazing, like an amazing overview of his future, he went to the chapter of specialized knowledge. And he said, oh, that's it then. I'm done. I have no specialized knowledge whatsoever. So if this is needed for you to think and grow rich, then I'm done. But of course, he kept reading, and then he read that what Napoleon Hill wrote, right? That specialized knowledge does not have to belong to you necessarily. So it can be something that you've learned from someone, or it can be something that your partner or your employees possess, and it is part of your business's value. Now, the third part of the equation of your success, of your super vehicle to success, is a super tool set. And of course, I want to take us all back to the beginning of the industrial revolution. And what happened back then was that we had agriculture, and we were basing our potential and our growth and our capacity to produce to manpower. And then, of course, we had amazing tools and amazing vehicles and everything to help us increase our capacity, increase our productivity. Same thing is happening right now with the internet, of course, and much, much sooner now with artificial intelligence. And one of the most powerful, most successful futurists in the world, Ray Kurzweil, said that businesses that don't invest in AI, that do not make sure that artificial intelligence is part of their business doing, will be out of business in 5 years. And I think this has been said 2 or maybe 3 years ago. So you better take on these 3 invaluable aspects of business development and start working on them. Upgrade your mindset, upgrade your skill set. one of the most ridiculous claims I have ever made in my life was after I finished my postgraduate degree. And I said back then to family and friends that because I had an offer for a PhD, and it was a paid PhD, which was a good case for me. I mean, back then I had no idea how much money I can make. So I think it was an offer of £15,000 or like, I don't know, $25,000 or something. It was like a good offer on the table. But I said that I want to end my academic life and start producing value for the marketplace. This is exactly what I said back then. And little did I know, of course, that if I didn't kept like learning and growing, I wouldn't be able to produce value because everything is changing, everything is evolving. If your knowledge levels and your skills are stagnant, the value that you can produce is not the same, it's less, because your potential will be valued less and less as days go by. And of course, you probably know the story. I worked for two companies as an employee before I started my own business in 2007. And of course, less than a year later, I was already facing bankruptcy because I was lacking the skills. I was lacking the skills to run a business. I was prepared in life to be an amazing employee, but a poor employer. So I had to catch up. I had to upgrade my specialized knowledge. And of course, I had to upgrade this tool set as well. Now, the third part is your super fuel, the fuel that you have. And that, believe it or not, is absolutely free and readily accessible if you practice the exercises of perspective, forgiveness, love, gratitude, and happy landing. That's it. Elevate your emotional state and you have more energy. I didn't have the energy that I have right now, like 15 to 20 minutes before this masterclass, because it is already 6:30 in the evening here in Greece. And of course, I had a very demanding day and I had to go through some exercises to elevate my emotional state first. I had to bring in my mind you reaching your destination and sending me that email like, Angelo, I did it, because this is my why. And I said, oh, then I have to catch up. I have to elevate my energy. And I practice these 5, and you don't have to practice all 5 exercises, because if there's nothing to forgive, you move on to love. And if you already are like full, if your body and your consciousness and your heart is full of love for yourself, for life, whatever, for your spouse, for your children, for your pets, whatever, then you can move on to gratitude. And if you're filled with gratitude, even with the simple things like the air you breathe, then you can move on to happy landing. And then you can see and feel yourself at your destination. And then you start operating from that state. And you realize that the upgrade of your skill set and your tool set is becoming automatic. Now, as we've said before, you are here and you need a destination, a vehicle, and the fuel. Okay, you get these things. Now what? Now you need to choose your path. And as I see it, or basically as what was described by Dean Graziosi, basically you have 2 options. And the first option, of course, is to invest time in scattered knowledge that you get from all around the internet and trial and error. So you invest a lot of time in trying to make sure that you understand what is available out there for you and what works for your personality, your business, your idea, and the time and place you decided to launch that idea. Now, the other option, of course, is to invest $997 in the Mastermind Business System, or MBS, and of course, get all the amazing bonuses that are available right now. This is a decision that you have to make. I'm not going to do anything to convince you on that decision right now. All I want to tell you from my experience is that time is infinitely more valuable than money. It is infinitely more valuable than money. Even if you felt that you have invested in a product that would cost $997 in the past, and you think that it was a wrong decision or the product didn't deliver, you weren't ready for it, you were fearful and you didn't even go through the product, whatever, right? You can make up these 997 somehow. You can make it up. If you lose time, if you lose months or years, as I tried to do in the beginning of my business, because I wanted to get all the free information that was out there and try to make it on my own, then you cannot make back a single second of that time. This is the thing. The risk is there, of course. But for me, the biggest problem of all is that you will be giving away your time to make up some money. And rich and successful people are doing the exact opposite. They are giving money to get back their time, to increase their effectiveness during the day so that they have more time for their personal life, more time for their family, more time to create magic moments with their family and friends. This is the game changer. Even more time to broaden their consciousness to even more ideas, to even more opportunities. This is the game changer. Now, if you want to invest in the Mastermind Business System, or at least learn more about it and make sure that you make an informed decision, you just go to angelolabru.com/joinmbs, and I'm just putting the link also in the live chat here, simply because I want you to make sure that you have decided before the end of this offer so that you can get all the bonuses as well and make sure that you get the most out of your investment, right? And I think you have about 2 more days if you're watching this live. What matters to me, though, is that you make the decision. Because another distinction between people that are successful and the ones that are not so much successful is that successful people decide fast and they protect their decisions. They support their decisions. So you might say, okay, I'm in, or this is not for me. But decide now. Be decisive. Support your decision. Do not go through it over and over and say, like, sitting on the fence for me is the worst decision of all. Say, okay, I'm done. Maybe sometime in the future, whatever. Or I am all in. Not only I'm going to invest, but I'm going to go through at least the very few videos of module 1 today. This is a game-changing attitude. This is the attitude that will help you create momentum in a few months' time and realize that you're actually, as I wrote in today's shot of inspiration, you're on the right track to success. Now, of course, I cannot leave you without your homework, and that is number 1. That has nothing to do with the Mastermind Business System. This has everything to do with you taking your business to the next level. And that is number 1, brainstorm on your growth angles for 2025. Get a feel of your industry, get a feel of your location, of the opportunities, of your business, of the past, and the growth curve of your business, and the challenges, and the setbacks, and everything. And make sure that you attune yourself with all potential ideas and growth possibilities. And number 2, you want to choose one, pick one, just one, and go through it, meaning that you start with a feasibility study, and if you find traction there, you move on and say, okay, I'm gonna take on this idea and let it sprout, make something from it. And I will apply what I learned in this masterclass, and I will grow my beliefs to the potential, to the point that I believe in my potential from back in June 2024, right? Go back, watch, upgrade your beliefs, and then you will see more clearly what needs to be done. Last but not least, I want to remind you once again that you want to make a decision about MBS and stick to it right now. You will be having something like 50 hours if you're watching live to make a decision on the Mastermind Business System and get at the same time all the available bonuses that are right now so that you can make the most of your investment. But regardless, act as a successful business owner, which means that decide now and support your decision. This is how you hop on to a super vehicle for success, regardless of what it is. Always remember, success, this is something that I wish I knew back when I was getting started. Success is not a matter of chance, of happenstance, but a matter of systemized application of the knowledge that gets you there. I thought that reading books and going to seminars was the game changer. No, it is the application. And decisive people apply. This is where you get the job done. This is where you see the upgrade in your mindset, your skill set, and your tool set being converted in an upgrade of your results. So thank you very much for your attention and participation. I wish you the very best. And if you're decisive and if you apply what you're learning, I'm not wishing you anything because I know that you have set yourself on the right track for more success in your business. So see you soon with another masterclass. And of course, I will see you tomorrow with the next daily shot of inspiration. Ciao, ciao.